Okay. Is there anyone that had problems creating an account?
I've created my account. Sorry, I couldn't unmute that time that you're asking.
Okay. I hope nobody had issues creating an account. Fine and good. That means my class was clear yesterday. All right, guys. Thank you.
Sorry, I want to ask, please. I created my account and I was trying to go through this video, but when I close the browser and open TestRail, there is no place I could see like a sign in or login. I'm still seeing the register try for a month. Is that the way it should be? Or I should be able to have a place to log in and continue what I was previously working on? Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we are
Yes,
hearing
we can
you.
hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we can hear
We
you.
can look at your issues after. Yes, I need is also
Yes.
The network is breaking off.
Oh,
Hello, Ima, we can't hear you. Are you switching to an alternative internet?
yes, I just tried to.
I hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, let's just carry on. So Joyce, I think we can look at this after maybe tomorrow, right? You can share screen. Let me know what you're saying. Okay. So guys, if you have any problem like with creating your account, just shout it in the channel. This morning I was available. There are some people that I unblocked. Please, we may not be able to do this on the call because number one, time. Secondly, my network is not so reliable. Please. Okay. So Joyce, you can send a message on Slack later on. So for today, okay, am I sharing my screen? Can you see my screen? No.
No.
Okay. Okay, so for today, we are going to, our focus will be on test runs and results mostly, but we are going to touch on to do and milestones. We just have to look at those two tabs and then we'll come to test runs and results. So this is not the account I created the other day. For some reason, I forgot the password. So this is the my own account. I created this one before the classes started. So yeah. So let's look at what to do is. So for this tab, this is where for me as an administrator, right? As an admin, I have access to this account. If I come to the to do tab, I'm going to see all tasks that are assigned to me, tasks that I assign to myself, and then tasks that I also assign to other users in the TestRail account, right? And then for you that is being added as a user to this TestRail account, if you go to your own tab, you're going to see only the tasks that are assigned to you, right? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So basically, that's what to do is. If you assign the task, if you have anything to do, just come to the to do tab and you're going to see what you have to do, what has been assigned to you. But for me as an administrator, difference is that I'm going to see everyone's work because I am the one that assigned those tasks to them. Okay, so for milestones, Okay, I think I don't really have to explain every single thing. You can see use filter. You can decide to show unassigned task in your to-do tab and see you've not assigned this task, so you can assign it to someone. Guys, just play around with um this app. It's very easy to navigate. Then for the milestones is like setting a target um for your project, right? So what milestone does is, for instance, we want to create a website um for perfume outlets, right? If I want to create a website, this is my project name. So what I need to do is um okay. So for some companies, I don't know how to explain this so you get it. So your milestone is how long is it going to take for you to complete your project? That's what milestone is for, right? So you set a target for yourself. You give it. I hope you guys can still hear me.
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we are
Okay.
hearing.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So you set a target for yourself in milestones. So for this website project, I can decide to maybe cut them into sprints, right? Maybe I have 6 months. I have given my this thing project 6 months to complete, right? You can decide to like, okay, say 6 months, but I think that's too far. Um, Let me call this milestone. I think I can give this sprint. I think I like to work in sprints. For instance, I'm not so good with naming things on the go. So let's just use this as an example. So for this milestone name, I'm calling it Sprint 1, right? If you have references, you can include it. If you have a parent milestone, of course you can, right? So I can decide to maybe set a milestone of 6 months and then break it down into smaller chunks. So that will only be available here. If I come to parent, I can see the bigger milestone I set and then just put this other one under it. But that's not the case here. I just want to make it I want to partition my project in sprints. So a sprint normally it lasts for 2 weeks, right? You can give it description here. Whatever description you want to give it is optional. I'll just leave this. You can see use this description to describe the purpose and goals of this milestone. What's the start date? When do you want to start this project? Today is 29th. Let me take 29th for example. What's the end date? End date would be 2 weeks from now. That should be like uh let me use 14, right? So now you have a checkbox here that says this milestone is completed. You can only check this if your milestone is completed. Now, why you are seeing this checkbox here is, right? It's not every organization or company that uses TestRail. So if you are new to TestRail, there's a possibility that you may have started your project somewhere else. Maybe we're managing your project on a Google Sheet, right? So maybe you've completed some things and you're trying to migrate them into TestRail. Of course, if this is something that you've already worked on, right? If it's something you already worked on and it's completed, you can just to put a record on TestRail, you can mark this as done. But in this case, no, we are starting everything on TestRail, so we are going to leave this checkbox unticked. But just know that if you take this, that means you cannot the action cannot be done, right? So any test case that is related to this milestone cannot be assigned to anyone. You can't really do a test run on that ticket, that test run. So of course, you are going to leave this unticked, and then we are going to create a milestone for our project. I hope you are following, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are.
Okay, any question here? Guys,
No
do you have any
question.
question here? Okay, all right. Anywhere you have question, you can just ask. Okay, so that brings us to test runs and results. Now, yesterday when we created an account, went through the uh, project overview and all that, we went to test cases. We tried to touch on. In fact, we went on it test cases using different will lead us to test runs and results. Once you're done designing your test cases, you come to test runs and results. So this is where you are actively testing your test cases, right? When you start working on your test cases actively, you come to the test run tab, and what you're going to do here is you, on your right, on the right panel, right? See where I'm navigating to, you can add test run, right? So let's click on add test run. Okay. Um, what do you want to name this test run? Okay. Let me call this test run 1.0. Guys, I think it's I think it's very necessary for you to add it to your test run. Anything you're actually testing, right? Anything you're about to test, I'll advise you add date to your the title of your test run. Do you have references? If there is no, leave it
So, I don't know if it's me. I can't hear you.
Same here. We can't hear you.
optional, right? Milestone, you try to what
Sorry,
upcoming means that is
we lost you at some point.
okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Please, can you go by a little bit, please? Because we
Okay.
did.
Where did
Yep, from here.
from where? From milestones.
Name. Yep.
Okay. So I was advising that when you're about to start a test run, that you should add the date, that day's date to your test run. Add it to the name field. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear. I can hear
Hello?
you now.
Yes.
Please, can you please go back again? Your network is fluctuating.
Yes, we can. Yes.
Hear anything from my own end. I don't know if it's only me.
It's not only you. We can't hear anything.
And it's simple.
Can you hear me now, guys?
Yes,
Yes.
we just started now.
Please, let's just manage, please. I'm aware that my network is really poor, and I don't know why for real. Um so I was saying that for name, I will advise that you always add a date to your this thing, to your test run, the name of your test run. So when you want to start testing your test cases, you want to name it, so you want to create a test run, add a date to the name field. That's what I was advising, like I've done here. Then for the milestone, you can decide to link your test run to a milestone, right? So for this week, let's say for this sprint, we said we're going to test the login functionality that we created yesterday, the test cases we created on login. So for this sprint, we're saying that we want to test it, right? So of course, we are going to bring it under this sprint, under this milestone, you get. So you select it, but if you don't have it, it's fine. Then I'll assign it to myself. Choose a data set to be used across this test run. There's no data set here, right? It's not necessary. You leave it. We'll leave that for now. So you come to the description, use this description to describe the purpose of this test run, right? Okay, I think I might just give it a little description here. Login functionality. Okay, so then we have three options here to pick from. So the first one is already picked by default. So if you're going to have a test run, do you want to include all your test cases, right? Every test cases you have under the test cases tab, do you want to include them in this test run? So select this option to include all test cases in this test run. If new test cases are added to the repository, they are also automatically included in this run. So even after you have created this test run and then you go ahead to create a new test case, because you have selected this option, that new test case will still appear in this test run that you're about to create. Then you have the second option of selecting specific test cases. So if you click in this test run, new test cases are not added to this test run in this case, right? So if you select that, you have the option, okay, to go and select test cases that you want to add to this test run. Then the third option is dynamic filtering. So new test cases are automatically added to the run if they match the filter, unless the run is closed. So over here, you can, if you want to add if you want to add on that change filter, if you click on cases under this section, login, everything in this section, you can come here and following.
Sorry, who is sharing screen?
I'm the one sharing screen.
Oh, okay. Because I was seeing David's name. All right, no problem.
Okay, no one is talking. Are you following, guys?
Your network is fluctuating, but as well.
We could barely get everything you said. Your network is bad.
Okay, let me cancel this. Today's class is very simple. I want you guys to get it. Did you get the first explanation on this first choice?
Perhaps you could start from there.
We can't hear you. What are we going to do about Ima's network?
Hello?
All right, I think she's left the call.
No, I'm back. I tried to refresh my network. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So, guys, I was asking, did you get the explanation on the first choice?
Yes, the first choice we did, but the second and the last one is not
Okay.
clear.
All right. So the second choice is select specific test cases, right? So if you select this, you can find the option here. you click on this change selection, right? So this means that you want to pick specific test cases that you are designed, right? Okay, so you have the option here. You can select one, you can select two, and then you add, and then it will appear here, right? That means these are the two test cases that you want to add to your test run. Are you following now?
Yes.
Okay. And then for the last option, dynamic filtering, if you select this one, you have the option to filter to add filter to your selection. So if you click on change filter, it will bring you to where you have your test cases, right? So now if you want to, maybe let's say you're running a regression test for your for your this thing, for your company, and then the test cases you have are a lot. You may not have time to run all of them. You might just decide to filter by priority, right? If this ticket is critical, you pick it. I'm looking for critical tickets only to add to the test run. Do you understand? You can select anyone you want. I want to pick tickets that will not really take my time like that. You get? I want ticket that was created by me or someone else. I want ticket that was created on so date. That's what this filter is. So once you apply that filter, it will select those tickets for you, and then you apply it to your test run. Do you understand now? Guys, are you there?
Please come again. I didn't get this last part. Come again from the section. Pick option.
Okay. So what dynamic filtering is you want to filter this thing. You have filter here, right? When you select that, you're going to have this change filter. Let me cancel.
Okay.
Okay, it's loading, it's coming up. All right, you can see my test cases, right?
Yes.
Good. So now what you want to do is apply filter. Remember that when you design these test cases, they were actually fields for you to um use in designing them. There were some that you assigned critical this thing you assigned as critical, or it was high. There were some that you I don't know, you added some templates to some. Okay, so now what I'm trying to say is that which one is applicable to you. I was giving an example. Maybe you're trying to run a regression test, and then you have so many test cases, right? So you might want to pick these specific ones that are more priority to you at that point. So it could be test cases that you designed with this kind of template. Could have been, okay, this particular template, you select it, it has selected, right? I want tickets with some priorities. I want tickets with critical priority. You can select critical, right? Oh, I want ticket that was created on day, right? You're going to see the option here. You select. So whatever filter that you pick from here, when you are done, okay, set the selection. It will pick this what is it called? It will pick, let me see, let me select something that is applicable to today. Then let me set selection. Okay, you can see that zero test cases matched, right? That means you don't have any ticket that matches all the selection. So what you do is, I think I'll just drop some. Uh, Let me be sure of what filter I'm applying. Okay. Okay, so I want tickets that I created only today, for instance. I think I can set selection. I'm very okay, fine. So it has picked these three tickets because I created them today, right? Guys, do you understand now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that's what dynamic filtering is. Just play with it. It's very easy to understand. So in my own case, I want to include all test cases in this test run. So I will select the first option and then add test run. So I've clicked on the Add Test Run tab. So now you can see successfully added the new test run. You can see you haven't tested anything yet, right? This overview is showing 0% passed, 3/3 untested. Okay. So when you come down below, you can see the tickets. I have 3 tickets in my test case system repository. So that's why you're seeing these 3 test cases. If I had more than this and I selected add all test cases, they will all appear here. So now what you are going to do, right, is to start testing this ticket. Okay. So on a glance here, you can change the status of your ticket here. Let's say, for instance, you have gone to verify the login, you've seen that you have passed, your login has passed. Okay, you can just come here. When you're done doing this, the next thing is to go to where you're supposed to log in and verify that. So if it is passed, you're going to click on pass. So you can change it from here, right? Or you can actually click on the ticket itself and to open up a wider listing with more details for you to um, add your test result, right? So let's attempt this one from here. We'll attempt another one from the ticket itself. So let's say this first ticket is passed. We'll click on pass. So while trying to update it, you're going to have this screen pop up. So the status is passed. Do you have any comments? Right? If you have any comments, you leave it, but it's optional. It's only optional when it has passed. If you are blocked, you need to add a comment on what is blocking you. If the test failed, you need to add a comment on why, maybe the kind of error you saw, something. Do you get? So pass, I'll just add comments. Pass as expected. Uh, uh, I hope you guys can still hear me. Please, once I start going off, you can notify me and I'll refresh my network. So this test has passed as we expected it. If you have any more details, you want to add something, you want to attach a file to this result, right? You can add it here. You can, all you need to do is click on this and then it will take you to where you are going to select your file from. Then if this ticket, right, from here you can reassign this ticket. You can assign this ticket for someone. Let's say this ticket failed, right? And then you want your manager or someone that is more senior than you to have a second look, right? You can reassign it to someone. Or maybe if this thing failed and let's say our developers have access to this, right? You can reassign it and then the person will see the comment, right, that you left on it. And then the version that you tested against, right? There's some applications or software that have different versions, right? So if that is applicable to you, you can add it here, right? And then the time that you used in testing this, okay, what was the time you used? And then it also has this start button that if you click on it, right, it will just start. Once you, maybe the moment you open this ticket, it will start counting how long it's taking you to test that ticket. So you have gone to test your login this thing functionality, right? The time it's taking you to work on all of that, this is still counting for you, right? This is still counting for you. So when you are done with that, I think that's all. That's all the fields we need. You just click on add results. So if you add results, the timing was the timing is going to go off, of course, right? So you can see that in your test run, you added three test cases. You've tested one, and then the what is it called? This graph, this point here, that's changed to 33% pass.
Pie chart.
Hello, what did you say?
I think he's trying to say that is a pie chart.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, thank you. So you're getting it at a glance. You can see what you've just done, right? So right, let's also try to run this test from the title. You can click on the title. Let's try the second test case. Okay. Okay. So you see that it gives you a bigger screen to work on. From this point, you can edit this test case. Do you understand? So if you edit this test case, you're basically editing how you designed it. Maybe you want to change the priority to critical, right? It's not assigned to anyone. If you click on edit, you see the option to now assign it, give it estimate, however you want it. That is not necessary here, but you have the option to do that. Excuse me. And then when you come to your result and when you come to result and comments, you can add what's the test result. Let's see. Let me also use past, or let me use failed or blocked. What should I use? Let me just use failed. What should I use? What error message can I use? Password field. Maybe it was not clickable. Let me just give it anything that could have gone wrong. Clickable. Let me. Okay, so this is actually not failed. This is more like blocked. You can see the history and context here. Okay. This ticket is untested. It's in this particular test run that we created. You can just check that. Is there any defect attached to this? None. You've not recorded any defect. It's reading 0, right? So we'll come back to result and comment. Oh, that has cleared up. Let me just give it another thing. So you can decide to add comments here. Oh. The first, okay. So password said incorrect. So you can from here click on add results. Guys, you can see add results from the bottom here. So you click on add results. It will now bring you to this same screen, right? Where you can decide to change the status to, let's say, failed. Let's give this failed. Do you want somebody else to look at it? If you have another user, and like I said, maybe you want a developer to look at it or your manager to look at it, you can reassign this to the person, and then you can describe your test results if you want. Like I said, what else? Is there a defect attached to this? This allows is also optional. If you want to record the time that this test took you, it's actually very optional. But I think TestRail advises that you do it because it helps with their forecasts. Okay, it makes their forecast correct. So it just helps to develop the product you're using. Then you can click on add result. Where is this? Okay. So it has recorded that this test was marked as failed. Let's go back to the test runs and results tab. Okay, open it. Okay, so it has recorded failed here. So basically, this is how you do your test run. What this means is just add the test cases that you want to test, right? While you're working, I want to start working on this. So you group your test cases, the one you're about to test, and start working on them, and then you add your results. So this is what this tab is for. Now, if you come to this corner, to the left panel, you see that we're already on the test and result page. You have the activity page. where you can see the activity of this test run. Okay, you can see this. It's not compulsory that all the test cases that you added to your test run, that you run it that particular day. If I decide to leave some for another day, let's say tomorrow I do another one, next tomorrow when I come to check this activity, it's going to give you a trail of everything that you did on this test run. If it's going to take you 2 weeks, it's going to record all of those days that you actually, any activity that is related to this test run. This is where you get to see it, right? So on a glance, you can see in the past 14 days, one test has passed and one has failed. There's no retest and there is no blocked. This is what basically this activity page will do for you. And then the progress too. The progress too. So you want to see the progress of your what is it called? You want to see the progress of your test run. Okay. You just need to click on this. You can see the remaining tests that are remaining effort. Forecast is not available, right? I can't really say why forecast is not available. Also, you need the forecast to see the ideal progress, but that is not available. But that elapsed time, the time you recorded testing, that's why TestRail kind of, they're begging you, please turn it on so that we can use it to improve our forecasts. You get, so that's what this page is for. You're going to see the progress of your work. So based on the current activity and forecast, the projected completion date for this test run is, right? Forecast is supposed to tell you when you will likely complete this test run. Okay, and then you can see that this test run was started 11 minutes ago on the 29th of January. Completion, elapsed time, it's not recording anything. Tests, it's taking you the test for today is 2. You've tested 2 tests in a day, right? So this is what this progress page will show you. Hours and day is not available. Basically, this is what progress page is for. And then for the defects, right? So TestRail allows integration with other with defect tools, any tools that you use in tracking your bugs, right? You can do an integration with TestRail. So if there was any integration, but actually if there's a defect recorded, you will see it here, but you get the details of that defect in your defect tracking tool like Jira, right? So this is this for test run and the actions by the side. Now let's go back to test run and results. I'll just basically click on this and it will take us to the first page, right? Remember that this page was empty when we started. Okay, so we had add test run button and we had add test plan button. So now what does test plan do? We've seen what test run does. Okay, guys, you have questions on test run? Hello, guys. Do you have any question on test runs and results, what we've done so far? Okay, no question. Fine. So now I'm going to show you what test plan does. So you're going to click on add test plan. So when you click on test plan, what test plan does is let's say we just ran some tests and added some results to it. Okay, so let's say for those test cases, okay, you want to group your test runs, right, under test plan. So for example, you want to test those test cases you just tested. We are using, what browser are we using? For instance, we are using Chrome, right? So you can see an example here, all supported browsers or operating system or database combinations. So now you're saying, okay, I want to test that particular test run. I want to run it on different browsers. Do you understand? So you can give it a name here. Let's see, test Okay, I even have something like this. Okay, test the login functionality on supported browsers. I think I might have to list the browsers I want. So I want to test this on Chrome, Edge, with, let's say, Firefox. Any browser that you want to do um, cross browser testing. Any browser you want to use, you add it, right, to show the supported browsers you are telling this. You want this test plan to be tested on. So you have the option to, you can actually combine things, right? Do you want it in any particular operating system? Do you want to test this on Windows or any other one? You can select that, right? You can give your test plan that. So in my own case, I want to run this test on different or browsers. References, do you have any external reference? You can add it here. Please guys, do not think that this reference is not useful. If it is applicable to you, you will see how useful it is. Basically, you're just trying to reference something else in order for this test plan to work out, right? And then do you want to attach this test plan to a milestone? Yes, I would like to. So I'll add it to the milestone I created. And just use this as, I can use this as the description also, right? What else? So you come to this part, please add test runs to this plan from the sidebar. For every entry or configuration you add to this test plan, TestRail automatically start a corresponding test run, right? So guys, you can see that you need to add a test run to this. So when you click on, please pay attention here. When you click on add test run, let's see what happens. Okay, you see the test run that we just did. Can you see it below? Guys, can you see it?
Yes.
Good. So now you've selected, it has started with, it has brought that test run that we used. You have the option to select the cases or apply dynamic filters. That means you can change, you can edit that test run, basically, right? So if you add, if you click on select cases, that means you want to select, but in our case we don't want to do that. Okay, all cases are included once you add a test run. As it was, it has included, but if you want to edit it, you can edit it. So you can select individual cases, or you can add filters like I showed you, so that the filters will apply and select the cases itself. Do you want, this is not assigned to anybody, do you want to assign this to someone? Of course, you have the option to do that. Then you have the description, references, or data. Do you need to update this? It's not necessary. So you just add, go ahead to add on test plan. Okay. So you can see that you successfully added the new test plan. So this test plan, you can see is showing 0% passed, 3/3 untested. This is just the overview. Nothing has been done on this uh, test plan. So guys, I'll go back to the first page again. Just click on this. I know you're already on the test runs and results tab, but if you want to go back to the first page on this tab, you just click on it again. I need to show you guys something. So now you can see that this is the test run I created. The difference between the test run and the test plan, you can see from the icon. For the test run, you can see the play icon beside it. For the test plan, you can see like it's kind of grouped. I don't know how to explain this icon, but this is telling you that you are testing this thing on multiple stuff, right? In this case, it was multiple browsers. So this is just how you're going to differentiate your test runs from your test plans. So now you haven't carried out any test on this test plan. You can click on this. Where do I see the test run? Okay, so click on the test run itself. It will open up. You can see everything is untested here. Like I said, you can decide to go through the title page, this thing, but I like to just go through the status action, because it will just bring up the this particular screen for me to quickly add my results, right? So you want to, if you want to change this, maybe to retest, anything you want to add, you can add. Guys, note that the only difference now is I am not going to any page, any application or any URL to go and test this thing. But in your own case, when you're actually working, you have to go there. So it's advised that once you open this up, you go there, test the results that you see, you come back here to add it. While you are waiting to add this result, you must have already started the time tracking if you are willing to, right? But at least it will help the stakeholders or your managers to see your efforts, right? It's good for you. So in my own case, because I'm not practically just going to test this thing, that's why I'm just adding results. You're just giving examples here. So let's say this is retest. I'll just click on retest. There's no comment. I want this person to retest this. Maybe you tested it and you're not so sure, right? Maybe your network is poor and you're not sure that that test is correct. You're getting the right thing. Maybe, okay, I want to assign it to someone that the network is good or someone that has a better knowledge of this. You have the option. Of course, when you have other users in your TestRail account, you will always see the list in assign to, right? So in my case, I'll just say assign to Ima-Abasi and then add um, results. Guys, are you following me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Nothing to worry about if you're not picking it up now. I think I'll share. I'm going to share a YouTube link on the channel. Right, when you have time, TestRail has short tutorials on each of their features, anything that we are using here. So you can decide to watch it for people that learn by watching, but I will always recommend the user guide, right? You can also go to their user guide, read it over and over again, and it will click. Also, you cannot use 3 days to learn TestRail. It's a whole lot of things here, right? And I believe that when you signed up on TestRail, you had TestRail offers they do training sessions for their customers, right? Okay, I think when I signed up, I was informed that there'll be, I think they do it every Wednesday, I don't know, but you receive a lot of emails from them. Check your spam, okay, check your promotion folder. You are going to see their emails inviting you to join their sessions. You go there with your questions. Any question you have, you can join the call and ask a question. Also, there's a TestRail Academy, right? When you're signing up, they're going to send a link. So if you want to go through the academy, you sign up. The very this thing. What I'm trying to say is TestRail. I think I chose this intentionally because they're very easy to access their support. Very this thing is actually very interactive. You can just play around it and you'll get it. So don't worry yourself too much if you're not getting it tonight. When you are playing around it, you definitely get it. And if you have questions, I'll be on Slack to answer them. Like I said, I have unblocked few people this morning. I was on Slack this morning. Tomorrow morning, I'll be on Slack again. So any question you have, you can drop for me. And also, I'll advise that if you have questions, you don't have to DM me. Ask it in the channel so that others can learn. Shout it in the channel. There's no stupid question, right? We are all here to learn. I'm also actually learning. I think by next week or whenever we are going to start the API classes, you guys are going to see me there. So all of us, we are learning. Do not be shy to ask questions. There's no stupid question, guys. And we have carried out one test, and it's in retest. You can carry out the rest and you will see basically activity of your test plan, the progress, the defects, just as you saw them in your test runs, right? Also, I want to mention that you have um,
Your network is breaking now.
this email, right? This, oh, okay. I think I have to refresh. I'll be back, guys. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I just refreshed my network. So what I'm saying is you have the option to know what is going on your test plan. You can see the activity, you can see the progress, you can see the defect, right? Um you can see the ones you've tested and the ones you are yet to test, what parts, what needed retest, right? You can see it. Okay. So this is just basically it on test runs and results. Okay.
I have a question, ma.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, like in the case of this test plan,
Mm.
can you assign like multiple tests on under a single test plan, or each test one has its own test plan separately?
Mm, let me get your question. Can you assign multiple what?
Test one.
No. You can't. So you can see that under this place now we have one test run and we have one test plan. So if you want to add another test run here, you can add it. If you want to add another test plan, you can add it. Are you seeing this? You also have, okay, let's say for instance this test run, right? You have the option to edit. Okay, you can decide to add more test cases if you have. Then you have the option to, let me see where I can get this. Let me click on edit. Okay, so if you click on edit for this test run, you have the option to edit what you want to edit. If you don't want to include all the test cases anymore, you want to do specific ones, you have the option to do that. You have the option to choose to filter, right? But let me um add one important stuff here. If you come to actions, right, can you see close this test run?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you click on close this test run, that means you have completed everything you needed to do on that test run. Because once you close it, you cannot modify that test run anymore. So I think um the reason I'll advise that, I don't think you should ever delete a test run. I don't It's not advised to delete any test run, right? Okay. So if you close the test run, you'll not be able to modify it. So what that helps you do is, let's say, you could be working with funny people, right? You you created a test run, you added test cases you wanted to run on that particular test run. And so you've tested and you see that maybe out of three tickets, two passed, one failed, right? And maybe this is towards the end of your sprint, your 2 week sprint, because at the end of your sprint, you're going to generate reports for your for the stakeholders, for the bosses, right? So maybe you don't want this test to be modified by anyone because your report time is close by, right? So you just want to have evidence that you did your work and you did your work, right? You don't want someone to tamper with it. You can just close this test run. So if I click on close test run, it will give you a confirmation this thing. Do you understand? So what this is, okay, let's just close it. So yes, I want to close this. This operation cannot be undone. Yes. So you close it. It's loading. Okay. So you can see that this test run is completed, right? So remember when we were trying to create milestones, we had this option of clicking on that milestone like it's completed. So it's just like this. So this test run is completed. You can no longer modify the test run or add new test results. Do you understand? So this is it. Another important thing I wanted to show you guys was for each test run or test plan, you can decide to generate reports from it. Okay. So TestRail allows you to generate your report. You have metrics that you can generate your report from. So for defects, you want to see the summary, you want to see summary for cases, shows the summary of found defects for this test run, pick test case and test. You select it. You want a report for this. Guys, remember, play around it. We cannot do all of this in class. So if you want a summary of any of these under defects, you can choose. If you're looking for result comparison for cases, they give you they give you a summary of what you expected from this result or report you want to generate. Same thing here. So in my own case, I can just say I want this shows you a full summary and overview of this test run with statistics as well as activity and progress details. So if I click on the summary of the run itself, right? Guys, I hope you can still hear me.
Yes, we can.
Good.
Yes, we can.
Yes, I
Okay.
can.
All right, so you see that it has navigated us to this report tab, even though we started the report from the test runs and results tab. It has brought us to the report tab, right? So now you have the name. What do you want to call it? Remember to always add your date and time. Okay, uh, you can use the following variables in the report name. It's allowed. I like to add time to what I'm doing to show evidence that this is when I did it. I did it when I was supposed to do it. Okay, I don't want too many questions, so I like to add date and time. I stamp it there. The description, report for blah blah blah. Let's say this is the end of your sprint, so you can just say this is the report for the end of the sprint on this particular test run. You add it. So you have report options here. So under test run, you see include the test result of first option says the test runs that match the following filter, right? So now you can apply filter to what, just like when you wanted to add test cases to your test runs. Remember, you can always filter the particular test cases. So you can always apply filters so that it will filter out the cases you want. Maybe you want test cases that are critical, right? So you can filter by that, apply all the test cases that are critical will come up. But by default, it chooses the only the following test runs, right? Me, I want um the particular test run that I selected um for this report, right? So it shows you here this one that you marked completed. Add test runs. You can decide to add more test runs. Like if you have more test runs you want to generate the report from, you can add it from this here. But no, I want just one particular report for a particular test run. So I'll leave it at that. So maximum number of test runs to include. Let's say you have 100 test cases. Okay, sorry. Yes, you have maybe 20 test runs in your test runs and results tab. How many do you want? Blah blah blah. You just select it. This is the option to select it. Um, do not include links in the report. Useful when sharing reports. Okay, you can, if it's applicable to you, you click it or not. I'll just leave that open. Then you have access and scheduling. Okay, so this report can be accessed by yourself only as an administrator, or you can share it with everyone with project access, right? However you want it, whichever situation is applicable to you, you can choose that. So I want this to be accessed by me only. Create this report right now. You can decide to create the report right now. You can also decide to, if you click on demand via the API, I haven't really chose this option before, but it's related to if you're doing automation testing, right? So you want to generate your report on the fly, something like that. So that's what this option is for, guys. You can do your research. Then schedule this report. Do you want to schedule this report? We all know what schedule is. Okay. So let me say I want this report every week. You want it every day, you want it every month. You can schedule it, give it time, right? How long do you want this schedule to run? You can select a date here you want this to end. So I want this schedule to this report to schedule every day by 8 o'clock in the morning for 6 months, let's say till June. So you can select the end date here, but it's optional. Once the report is ready, how do you want to receive it? Notify me by email, right? So you have the option to be notified by email. So you can click on, okay, let me remove this, please. Okay, you also have the option to do, you can do multiple selection in this create this report. You can create it right now and also set your schedule, right? Or can also ask if, what I'm trying to say is, if the three boxes are applicable to you, you can choose it. But for me, I want it right now. So once the report is ready, I want to be notified by email. Then you have another option here, email a link to the report. So now we cannot choose this particular option because we are on free trial. We can't choose any other thing here. Okay, you can see this. Sharing reports with external people is not available during trials. Get. So this is not applicable to us because we are on free trial. But if you have paid for TestRail, you can explore these other options and maybe let us know in the chat, in the channel. So I think I've done my selection. You have the details. Can come back to the details tab for this. And what do you want? Include the following details and sections. You want everything, you select it. Activity, you want all the activities for this week. You want it for, guys, this is straightforward enough. You don't have to say everything in class, right? So same thing with tests, right? So I'm okay with the way I've configured my report to be. So I'm just going to click on add report. Okay. So successfully added the new report and scheduled report, right? I think I unchecked that scheduled. Why is it telling me schedule report? But this is this. You can see your report is ready. Also, if you go to your email, if you go to your inbox, you're going to receive a copy of this. Guys, are you following me?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now,
Yeah.
yes, I don't have to go to my email inbox. So I'll just open this here. So this is the report, right? So it shows that for this test run, you remember that the report you asked for was for this test run 1.0, right? So one test passed, one failed, zero retest, this. You have a summary of it, right? So what's this thing here? You're testing the login functionality. What is the milestone? You can see created on, you see, is it a completed test run? Remember that you completed it. When did you complete it? It tells you that. So it gives you details of everything. However you configured it, you're going to have everything in this report. So now, guys, imagine if you were using Google Sheets to manage your test cases. Is it possible for you to capture all these reports this way? Is it?
No.
Of course.
No.
Seeing the importance of using a test case management tool before you do all apply all formulas, come up with formulas to catch this, to catch that. Oh my God, you don't want to experience it. You don't want to experience it. So any company you join, please advocate for tools. Tell them the importance, because sometimes your managers, your stakeholders, some of them are not even tech savvy, right? Don't even know what's up. You can always, initiate this kind of ideas. I think if we use this, we can be able to do this efficiently to save time. Of course, I remember when I used to do on Fridays, when I started working newly, I used to make reports on Google Sheets, check for each person what this person worked on. It's crazy, right? At the end of the day, the bosses are picking your formulas are not correct. They say, "Ah, Ima-Abasi, if the formula is like this, why is it like this?" So you see that there are a lot of errors. But with a test management tool, you can actually capture everything in detail, right? Like we are seeing here. On Wednesday, you carried out this test. This one failed. You left a comment here. This one passed. You've not tested this. Remember, it's not you may have 20 test cases to run in a sprint. If you're not able to do it, it's fine, right? It is fine. Some tests can be left untested and then you carry it over to the next sprint. It's all fine and good. You see the progress to capture for every day, you see your progress. Then the forecast, you can see it, metrics, test and result. Guys, this is as simple as ABC. Then over here, you have the option to share this report via email, right? You have the option to print your report from here. You also have the option to download this report. So guys, that is that. Now, let's go back to the report tab, the first page on report, right? Because we started um this report from this tab, that's why if we've not generated any report, when you come to the report tab, it will show you that you haven't done any report. So you have the option to come here to create your report, right? You can create or schedule report for the following report template on the test cases, on the defect, on the result, on the summary, on the users. You can see, okay. So for, let's say you want to see the summary of your milestone so far, you can click on this and see it. For users, I think this shows, this is actually also very important for, I think, performance reports of your employees. Okay, so I think this kind of report is good for your managers or stakeholders. Let them see your efforts, what you've been doing so far. So if you click on this, you'll be able to configure it the way you want. So guys, basically, right, this is where you can generate your report from. And I think we'll just stop here for today. If you have questions, you can ask. We have 15 or 14 minutes more. You can ask your questions. And then by tomorrow we have, did I add tomorrow? Do we have class tomorrow?
Yes, yes, we do. Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Monday,
So
Wednesday,
by
Thursday, Saturday.
Yes, fine. So by tomorrow, we can look at the administration tab, right? That's what we'll be looking at tomorrow. And then we can come back to test cases. I'll show you how to export test cases, right? You can import or export your test cases. Do you understand? So maybe for people that are already working on a Google Sheets, you can bring it to test cases. You can import them to, sorry, to TestRail, right? So I will briefly show you how to do that tomorrow. So we'll look at import and export, and then look at the administration tab. That's what we'll be looking at tomorrow. Then on Saturday, we are going to go all over everything that we have done so far from beginning till, okay, we'll cover everything. So Saturday will be more like a revision class. It's going to be interactive. Anything I'll be, in fact, maybe anyone can share their screen and we all contribute to, you know, work on uh, everything we have done so far. So for today we are done. If you have questions, guys, you can ask. We spoke on to do today, milestones and test runs and results and reports. So do you have any question anyway you can ask?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I have
Okay.
question.
I have question. Okay. My question is okay, I understand that this is part of tools to write a test case here. So, and I remember that in my previous class, like in the previous class we had when
Mm.
they newly introduced us to how to write text cases, we did it on the Google Sheet and Google Doc and the like. So, Mike, you actually made mention of it, but I just want to be cleared more. So what if in an organization, right, where
Mm.
they don't use a text trail, like just a text case tools like this, and they are like they just want the Google Doc. How will you like to like cope with that? Because I think to me, this system is more is explanatory enough and it's simpler than the other one. And my number two question is, do you do this? Like, do you use this text trail to write automated testing? We have the automated one and we have the manual testing. I just want to get the difference.
Yes, of course. What is it called? Anything that you're automating, right? It's still a test, right? It's still a test. So of course, I think where let me see. Let me come to test cases. This is me trying to answer your second question rather. Let me come to test cases. Um, Add case. Uh, where did we see that? I haven't done that myself. So you see that this type of test, you see, you have automated here, right? You have automated this thing
Yes,
as a type
yes.
of test. Of course you can add automated. Once anyway you are doing your automation, what we are looking for here is the report. We want the results documented in TestRail. So of
Okay.
course, so an automation test, you come here to say, okay, I ran an automation test on this and it passed or it failed or I was blocked. So basically, this is where you are managing whatever you are doing, right? So yes. And then for your first question, you say, how do you cope, right, with
Yeah.
companies using Google Sheets? I don't know how to really, it's really something personal, but like I said, I advised if you join a company that is using that, your work is not just to go there and do things, they just order you around. You can bring changes to a company, right? Okay. So you can always speak up when you're having meetings with maybe the director of products, your stakeholder. They always ask, in my team, they ask, do you have anything to say? Sometimes in my team, they even ask stuff like, what tool do you guys think we need? Everybody brings their suggestion. Okay, find out what's the pricing, what does it do? So this is the stakeholders, right? Trying to gather information from you, the employee, because of course, if you're hired as you are there to do, you know the market trend, you know what is going on, right? So you can always make suggestions. I don't think there is really a company that would want to see, except the money is not there. Some companies are not making enough money to want to pay for everything, pay for Jira, pay for AWS, pay for TestRail. So they might want to, this one, they might just want to rough it. Let's use Google Sheet. But if you can speak to your bosses and they accept it, it's a good development for you, right? It will ease everyone's work. So imagine that you're walking them through this, especially report generation. So this thing that we do like this every Friday or every 2 weeks, we are complaining that is this. Also, the way you present it. I just found this tool. If we use it, we can actually take details. Even you can even get a report for a particular test case. It's as detailed as that. Do you understand? So you can present it to them. If they welcome it, of course, it benefits everyone, not just you. And like I said, if you join a company, everything is just, I don't know the word to use. Everything is just old method of doing things. You don't want that for yourself because you need to grow, right? You need to grow. So of course you always ask for things. You're not just there to get paid, do your work and be ordered around. You to demand for things from them. So if you know this is going to ease your work, tell them about it. Do you get? I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Of course, if they don't accept it, it's something you can really do. It's now your personal choice. Do you want to remain there or not?
Yeah, I do understand you. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, guys. Any other question? We have 8 minutes more. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Good evening once again.
Good evening.
I actually having an issue with my login page. with the TestRail, but I'm thinking of probably I'll go back to review the first class you taught us, because then the first class we had together was your network was fluctuating, so I couldn't really catch up with some points there, but I will try and review the class. So if I'm unable to get the clue, probably on Saturday, hopefully, then I'll come to the class and explain myself. So probably me will be able to explain better. So that's the only thing I wanted to.
Remember, you don't have to wait till then. Okay,
You said?
you don't have to wait till then. I said I'll be available on Slack tomorrow morning to unblock you guys
Okay.
concerning your account creation. So
All
please
right,
shout
that's
it
fine.
in the channel. You don't have to wait till Saturday. Saturday, we are
Okay.
not unblocking anybody. All of us, we are working on the same thing. Everybody will be
Okay.
contributing to the revision class. Yes. So shout it in
Okay.
the channel.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you very much.
Okay. Somebody say, can we use Jira to do some test management? Uh, I don't know. Yes, Jira is not a test management tool, of course. It's a project management tool for tracking tasks. Yes. So that is the question. That is the this thing. That is the answer. So test management, project management tool is different from test case management tool, and Jira is a project management tool. So that's the answer. I think Udemy has already answered that. Udemy, thank you. Okay, Udemy, do you have any other thing? Yes, everything we are demoing today, this hands-on class we are doing today can be done on a free plan account. Yes, where you are limited, you say that you cannot work, you cannot do that. I think you saw where we are limited on trying to on report. We said you wanted to send the report link. We want to email it to someone who doesn't have access to this thing. You see that you were limited on that. So yes, wherever you are limited, you see. I think when we go to the administration tab, you see. I think there's some limitations there. There are a lot of it. In fact, on this free plan, I don't think we can do any form of integration. We can't integrate this to anything, any other tool, because we're on free this thing. So yes, anywhere you are exploring and you see that you're limited, that means you can't do that on the free plan. Okay, there's the fire and other test management tools other than TestRail. Maybe you should give it as a test as an assignment. Okay, guys, yes. Okay, yes, you can research on other tests. Um, you can research on other TCM tools, right? Test case management tools. I listed some of them at this test link. There's fire, there's practice test. I think I'm a little bit familiar with practice test because I always join their workshop, but I personally. So guys, you might fall in love with another tool other than test. Did you guys hear me?
We only heard the last part.
Okay, I've said you should explore other TCM tools, right? There's the fire, there is test link, there's practice test. Okay, so you can explore other test case management tools, do your research, see the one that you may want to explore, right? And then compare it with TestRail. Do you understand?
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Okay, Udemy, do you want to add any other thing?
No, nothing from my end.
Okay, all right. We'll try to do that.
Okay, guys. So we have 2 minutes left. I think we can call it a night. Good night, everyone.
Good
Who said
night.
no?
Thank you.
All right, guys. Bye.
All right.
Good
Thank
night. Thank you so much.
you for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you.